Namaskaram. I'm expecting a powerful Namaskaram from your side. Namaskaram. Great, great, great. So I came from the land of Adi Shankara. So he recited a beautiful Eka Shloki. He said, Kim Jodistava Bhanumana Hanime Ratrau Pradipadigam Syadevam Revidiva Darshana Vidho Kim Jodirakhya Hime Chakshustasya Nimilanadi Same Kim Dhirdiyo Darshane Kim Tatrahamado Bhavan Paramagam Jodistadasmai Prabho. When Guru was asking the student, what illuminates you? Then the student said, in morning it is sun, and in night it is moon and lamps. Then again he asked, what shows that lights within you? Then he said, yes, my eyes are showing that light. So the eyes are my light. And again he asked, what illuminates your eyes? Then he realized and said, yes, awareness is the light which illuminates my eyes. And then again he asked, what illuminates your awareness? Then he realized and said, yes, I realized that I am the lights of the lights. So, with this introductory note, I just want to introduce Kalaripayattu, because we are more into action than talking. But 90% of Indians doesn't know this beautiful, beautiful martial art exists here. So I started talking about Kalari. Because Kalaripayattu is the oldest structured martial art form ever in the world. We can even trace back its legacy up to almost like 3,000 years. You might be heard about the Sangam literature, right? Sangam literature. Maybe in Tamil, almost like 2,000, 3,000 years back, a beautiful literature happened. We have Akam Padal, Puram Padal, Kundalageshi, Valayapadi, Tirumurugachupadai kind of Tamil literature, where we can see the word Kalari in a very profound way. The valor of the heroes, their actions, the weapon usages, many things we can see. So this martial art was here from almost like 2,500, 3,000 years. But we doesn't know this exists now. And even if you are thinking like Bodhidharma, the prince of Pallava, you might be heard about Bodhidharma. He took this martial art to China in 5th century. He was actually the prince of Pallava. He was fed up with the politics inside his palace. So he chose Buddhism. And he went to an woods. And a Buddhist nun, Prajnatara, initiated him the path of Buddhism. He took this beautiful martial art and traveled to China in 5th century. The emperor was actually Wudang, was the mighty ruler there in China. So he had a wonderful dialogue discussion with Bodhidharma about this martial art and many things. And he said that I am feeding 2,000 monks per day. I created universities. I am creating many things. My rest of my life I am dedicating to Buddhism. So shall I get salvation? So Bodhidharma said, you will die in 7th hell. Because the basic principle of Buddhism is not to expect anything and do your karma. Then he traveled to the Shaolin temple. He met the monks. The monks were reluctant to receive Bodhidharma. So he meditated there inside a cave for 9 years, a wall-gazing meditation. And he came out with 2 scriptures. One is I Ching Ching and Zin Sai Jing. And from I Ching Ching, Kempo, Shaolin Kung Fu, Seal Art, Koguryo, many Chinese martial arts inspired and evolved. So Kalaripayattu is considered to be the mother of all martial arts. And wherever you are traveling, for example, even in India, if you go to temples, you can see that many gods are carrying weapons. Shiva is carrying a trident or pinaga. Vishnu with the Sudarshana Chakra, Hanuman with the Mahagadha, and Parashurama with the mighty axe, Kali with the Mahakadga. So, what do you think? It is a decoration or not? So basically, this iconography shows that the gods we worship were warriors. They were protectors of the society. Because of their valor, their dedication, their sacrifice to the society, they become gods. Even when they meditate, they keep a weapon nearby. Even our epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata, it revolved around this warrior spirit. This warrior spirit is missing in India now. Because we should realize that we were warriors for many years. We evolved as hunter-gatherers for almost like 2 lakhs years after the Neanderthal man. So hunter-gatherers means what? We used to run, we used to climb trees, fight each other for survival. We fought. We fought and fought and fought. We survived. So in our deep genetical memory, we were warriors, basically. But what happened to that warrior spirit? How can we bring back that warrior spirit? That is a burning issue now we face. Even the people who visited Kerala, like Abdul Razak Samarkandi, a Persian traveler, and the ambassador of Emperor Shah Rukh, he was talking about there is a beautiful martial art which gives you resilience. It's a profound lifestyle. And even in 16th century, Jureit Barbosa, another Portuguese traveler, he also narrated about the Kalari's spirit and warrior strength. We evolved as warriors, and we generated a kind of warrior worship. If you trace back the Sangam heroes, you might be heard about the hero stones. The easy method to become a god is to die in a war field. That was the spirit that our nation was holding. We created Dhanurveda, which is a very structured documentation of the weapon usage. We classified weapons and training systems. It says we have very dynamic weapon ranges. Dhanurveda says, Shakti adi pani muktam syad, yendra muktam sharadigam, mukta muktam chayeshtya ramuktam shurigabhigam. Which means there are weapons which can be released from the hand. There are weapons which can be released and taken back. There are weapons which we are holding in the hands and we are fighting. And the classification of the masters, grand masters was there. Dhanurveda said, Acharya Sapta Yuddhasya. Who is an Acharya? You heard about many Acharyas. Bhishma Acharya, Kripa Acharya, Dronacharya. If you want to become an Acharya, you should know 7 tactics of fighting. Chadurbhi Bhargavasruna. If you know 4 ways of fighting, you will become a Bhargava. Bhargava Jamadagni, Bhargava Raman. That means the title. Dwapya chaiva bhaved yodha. Arjuna is a yodha, Karna is a yodha, Bhima is a yodha. That means they know 2 tactics of fighting. And again, Ganako bhaved. So we had a wonderful legacy of warrior worship and warrior spirit that is lost. The current problem that I just want to intimate to you is, every day, almost like 160 youth is committing suicide in India. Whenever we are traveling to IITs, even the cream minds of India is committing suicide. They don't know how to handle the situations, the pressures. We lost that warrior spirit to fight back in these situations. Every day, how many girls are getting raped in India? Almost like 80 to 90 girls are getting raped. We evolved in many ways. Education, power, financially. But still, this is happening. Why this is happening? This is just because no education system trains us to deal with this situation. You know, many times, whenever threatening situations are happening in life, we should respond to that situation in a better way. If something is happening, naturally we have the flight-fight responses. If you run away or fight back, you can survive. But most cases, we will be in the freeze mode. So how can we change this freeze mode to an action mode? So we started training girls through our Shakti workshops. So we traveled extensively all over India, and we trained 12,000 girls till now. And it was our mission to spread this knowledge as well as the spirit all over India. So Kalari is a solution, it's a path to resilience. Whenever we are entering the Kalari, we are not merely doing a martial art. Whenever we are entering the space, we worship the ground, we worship our gurus, we have the energy centers, then we start practicing. So whenever we practice, our hands will be paining, sometimes it will be bleeding, we always fall down, but whenever we are falling back, we rise back with double energy and double vigor. So this resilience is very important. So the benefits of learning Kalari is it gives you the physical resilience. Mentally, you will become more and more sharpened, focused. At the same time, emotionally, you will be balanced, and spiritually, you are elevated. So being an IK center, Indian Knowledge System Center of Kalaripayattu and Siddha tradition, we did a proper study last year with 400 students spanning 6 schools. We trained Kalari for 16 weeks. And a psychological team from Niche came into board and they started gauging what are the benefits they are getting. In 16 weeks of training, their resilience, confidence, fearlessness, and self-esteem improved a lot. So resilience means in life, you will fall down mentally, physically. Many times you will be falling down. So whenever you are falling down, you should bounce back with the energy. That is resilience that Kalari gives. Then confidence. Confidence always comes from action. If you do something, you are more and more confident. Fearlessness, that is very important. Fear is the root cause of all miseries in the world, as Swami Vivekananda said. All miseries comes from fear. If you dissect fear, fear comes from pain. Sometimes it is mental, sometimes it is physical. So overcoming fear and knowing about you, that is the knowledge that Kalari gives. So, then we can create a strong mind. If you create a strong mind, what will you get? There is a wonderful citation in Taittiriya Upanishad. There is one chapter called as Bhrigu Valli, where Bhrigu Maharshi was conversing with his father, Varuna. So in conclusion, they said, if you have a strong mind, annavan annato bhavati, mahan bhavati, pashunam prajabhir, brahmavarsena mahan kirtya. So it says, if you have a strong mind, a good body arrives from that. If you have a strong mind, money will flow to you. Like-minded people will come to you. Brahmavarsena mahan kirtya means, and then you will become a glorified one. Even Agastya always sings, Manamadu semmeyanal mandiram jebikka venda, Manamadu semmeyanal vasiya uyartha venda, Manamadu semmeyanal vayuve nirutha venda, Manamadu semmeyanal mandiram semmeyame. Which means if you have a strong mind, if you create a strong mind, no need to chant mantras, no need to do pranayamas or deep kriyas. If you have a strong mind, a good body arises from that. And I started with Shankaracharya, and he was also asking the crowd. He asked, Jagam Jidam Kena, who can conquer the world? And he answered, Manohiyena, those who conquer the mind can conquer the world. So this is a path to conquer the mind. So you should support us to bring back this warrior spirit because, warriors created civilizations. Warriors created history. Warrior spirit means warrior is a man who is standing for the society and he is becoming the protector of the society. So bringing back the warrior spirit is my mission through the beautiful, wonderful art, Kalaripayattu, and I expect all of your support to be part of this mission. Thank you so much and Jai Hind.